All right, guys, welcome to the IB oral German picture practice. All right, I'll get that down one of these days. But until then, we're going to be practicing how to uh, do an IB oral in German. Now, a couple of things. So we see here we have a cafe. So we know that the word for in German is cafe. And one of the things that you might want to keep in mind is that when you are at the cafe, you are im Café. All right. When you're going to the cafe, you would say ich gehe ins Café. So just kind of keep in mind that's a particular thing that oftentimes we make a mistake on. But when they're already there, it's im Café. So I might say, die Menschen sind im Café. Okay. Or die Menschen gehen ins Café, like if they were going to the cafe. Okay. So, or they go inside the cafe, I should say. So most likely you're going to hear die Menschen sind im Café. Now, so the first thing we want to look at is some of the basic elements here. You see some people sitting up to the tables. You see a waitress. Okay, so let's start with some of the basic words that we're going to be needing today. We got mention. Okay, and this is one that we always have to say because we have to mention it. Okay, so die Menschen sitzen am Tisch. We could probably say die Kellnerin. Okay, die Kellnerin. Now, when you use die Kellnerin, uh, you might say die Kellnerin bedient die Gäste. All right, I'll pull that one back in. Oh, and here, Dab, you forgot to turn on your A umlaut. Okay, and this keyboard. Oh, it does. Okay, die Kellnerin bedient die Gäste. Okay, die Gäste. Now, one of the other things is we want to look at, well, what's actually going on. Well, you see the people, they're eating. Okay, so you could say, you could refer to the guests. Okay, die Gäste essen. I don't know. Sie trinken Kaffee or Tee. You could also mention that they are just outside. That's an important word as well. Okay, die Menschen sind draußen. Okay, Menschen sind draußen. Okay, so let's talk about the overall picture of this. Okay, so obviously this is about a cafe. Now you want to ask yourself, well, what role does a cafe play in your culture? Now, in American culture, there's a lot of cafes all around. So you might consider thinking about discussing something uh, about how we have a lot of cafes, but they are pretty in and out. You don't stay very long at a cafe, nor do you really hang out outside. Maybe in some of the bigger cities, yes, but maybe in the smaller cities, it's just a little, takeout place on the side of I don't know a Wiener Schnitzel or something like that. So you have a very big difference. So people when they go to the cafe uh, in Europe and in Germany and German-speaking countries, they tend to stay there just a little bit longer. You meet up with somebody there and you sit at the cafe. The other thing is to consider um, how much time they spent together outside, of course. Um, in America, we don't particularly, but maybe in your country, maybe there are some similarities between uh, German cafe culture and your own cafe culture. So those are some ideas to kind of think about when you're doing this. So go ahead and take a second and uh, make a short video describing what you see. Try and make a comparison and see about writing that out first. Write a comparison and talk about what the cafe culture means to you. Perhaps you don't drink cafe, maybe you do. We'll see. Good luck.